Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? I got bronze in Atlanta. I said bronze. I have bronze in Atlanta.
What's bronze? What is that?
Like the
what?
the bronze.
What is bronze?
Like the metal. Bronze is a metal.
You don't have any bronze in here.
Yeah, I do.
You don't.
I got bronze.
I don't see any.
I have bronze in Atlanta.
You don't have family there. You
I
don't
have family in Atlanta.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you're not.
I have family in Atlanta, and I have bronze there. I have bronze in it. What are you doing?
Stop talking.
Man's a whole ninja right now.
Stop talking.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the In the Fire podcast, where you get thrown in the fire of life and of the faith. And we are all on a journey to know God more and love God more and to be in his presence more. We are doing this journey alongside you guys. And today, woo-wee!
Y'all ain't ready for this.
Are they?
I don't think so.
I don't know if they're ready.
I think y'all gotta really embrace what we're talking about today, because
this is a big one. This is an important one. We all I think we've all had crushes.
Come on now.
That are
Come on now, buddy.
Not
Come
of
on
the
now,
faith.
buddy.
And we've wondered, is this a good idea? Should I date an unbeliever? That's the ultimate question.
That's the episode, baby.
Is it okay? Is it okay to date an unbeliever? Is it not okay? What does God say about it? Is it a good idea? Is it not a good idea?
Maybe you want to.
Is there exceptions? Maybe
is there exceptions? Yeah, like maybe you want to, but you're like, yeah, but my faith is strong enough. Something will really happen.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you're like, yeah, or maybe you're just like, well, I'm sure I'm about to, because God keeps playing with me. Now, I'm about to get in one. Right?
What?
I'm about to get in one because God keeps playing with me.
Okay.
Or you're just like, you know what? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Can I date one? Because sure, I know Jesus and they don't, but I can change them.
Yeah. And something I want to say is, like, for this episode, my aim for this episode is not so much to give you guys a new rule. Like, yo, God says don't do it, so a lot of you guys gotta go boot some people off into the streets and end your relationships. And I don't want this to be just another rule that gets added. What I want is for you guys to have a different perspective on your dating life and a different perspective on your marriage.
Definitely.
A shift of perspective. Because for me, I'm going to be honest, I've been through that question a lot. And I was like, you know what? Like, God, it's not that big of a deal. I like this person. This is okay. Like, I'm happy. I love them a lot.
Especially when feelings get in the picture, you start to overlook and start to hope things.
But there was a shift that God allowed me to have in my perspective in dating and marriage. And now the craving that I have for a partner in Christ is something else.
Yes, sir.
Something else. And he's altered that in my heart and in my mind to allow me to pursue something different. And it's not so much like, can I? Now it's like, I don't want to, because I know what I want in my partner.
Like
and that's what I want to encourage you guys to get out of this episode. It's not so much of a rule like, oh, dang it, I can't do it. God said no. It's more of like, let's shift.
Kind of like the why you don't, and like why you would want something that, yeah. So, I mean, let's get started, right? So, people our age, young adults, people in high school, college, anybody, but I think mainly young adults, we want to be in relationships,
of course.
Like, just kind of no brainer there. Like you want to. Everybody wants to be in a relationship.
Everybody,
right? So the question really is, okay, so why do you want to be in a relationship? What's the why of it, right? Because our culture, the Netflix shows, the scenes on Netflix with all the couples that are, by the way, acting, they're acting a relationship.
You said what?
No, it's not real.
Wait, what?
On Netflix, they're acting. By the way,
but like,
all those scenes, those cute scenes, they're acting because they're actors.
All right, we got it. I think they got it.
They're acting because their job is to act.
I think they got it.
All right, and then like the YouTube videos, the YouTube couples, right? All that stuff, the TikToks when my man gets home from work.
What?
All those videos.
You're,
and like,
you're watching too much TikTok.
hey, I'm being real though. Like all those TikTok videos, or like, or me and my girlfriend matching, whatever.
Yeah.
Our culture shows us a lot of that, right? And so it's like, why do you want one? Do you want one just because you want to make TikToks?
Nah.
Do you want one just because you want to cuddle?
Yeah.
And look, like, do you want one just because you want to cuddle? Just you want to have physical intimacy? Just because you want to do all those cute things? Yeah. Which I get, because I'm not talking out of this high horse. Like I've had the same desires. Come on now. I mean, Danny, come on. It's just like anybody has those desires.
Of course.
So it's like, it's like, but the thing is that the reason that you want to be in a relationship? Is that the only reason why? Right? Because it's like, if you're just doing it just for that, it's like,
yeah,
those things kind of die away.
And just to get straight to it, if you're a Christian, here's the thing: your dating life should be aimed towards marriage.
Yes.
If you're
the end goal,
yes, right? If you're dating somebody and you know, or like you're just like, I don't think this is going to end in marriage, you're in the wrong relationship, and you're wasting your time, and you're wasting their time, and not just that, but you could be defrauding them of romantic feelings, of all this stuff, and that is dangerous. It's dangerous to be playing in that ground.
No, definitely. And even if, like, because I obviously I've had those desires before, looking at those TikToks, YouTube videos, I'm like, ugh. If I felt lonely today, now I feel more lonely, right? If people can relate with that. But then when those like desires kind of come up, I just look back at my life, and to be honest, I'm just like, I don't think I'm ready for one right now. And that's just pure honesty. And I feel like if all of us were to be honest, right? And we have our desires, but if we were honest and just like ask ourselves, am I actually ready for somebody right now?
Okay.
Because thinking about it, like for me personally, if I had somebody, like, I don't know how time would work. I can't even manage my own time. So I can only imagine how I would be like with that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's just like something that kind of just kills it. Yeah. Pretty simply. It's like, I can wait for it, right? So, yeah.
Okay. But you're talking more about ourselves. We're talking about dating an unbeliever. Right? So, okay, yes. First of all, that's important. Everything that you said.
And I'll start it off. So, dating an unbeliever. So, I don't know. You probably have this verse. I'm going to share it.
Everybody knows the verse. Everybody knows it's coming.
I know. That's what I was going to say. Everybody knows it's coming because we used it on the Can You Be Friends with Unbelievers? Yeah. Right? So, I'm going to say it real quick because you guys are already ready for it. You guys prepare for it, right? 2 Corinthians 6:14-16. It's another translation which I really liked. Okay. So listen to this. Don't be teamed with those who do not love the Lord, right? For what do the people of God have in common with the people of sin? How can light live with darkness? And what harmony can there be between Christ and the devil? How can a Christian be a partner with one who doesn't believe? Right? That was a pretty good translation.
Yeah, it was.
Right? And it's like, truthfully, how can a Christian be intimately invested with somebody who doesn't care about what a Christian cares about? Right? Because, like, plain and simple, Christians are on another level. If you love Jesus, you're on another level. But what I mean by that is you have a way different mindset than everybody else. Yeah. Your mindset, your thoughts are way different. If you love Jesus, you're following God. In your mind, you're breaking generational cycles. You're fighting temptation every single day. You're learning God's voice, how to hear his voice better every single day. You're working on your prayer life. You're working on your quiet time. You're learning how to allow God to use you to do things in this world. All these things. And it's like, I mean, how can you be partnered up with somebody who doesn't care about the things you care about? Yep. Right? And it's like, we live for him.
Yeah, I have this cool list of like just what happens when you're with an unbeliever. Ooh. And so now what happens?
Probably say it slower, like if it's long. Like
no, it's not too long, but it goes with everything that you're saying.
Okay.
You have opposing masters. That's one thing.
I like that.
You have opposing worldviews. You have opposing sources of wisdom. You have opposing aims in life, which is a fact.
Opposing aims in life. Opposing masters. Okay.
You have opposite eternal destinies. Ouch.
Dang.
You are in the spirit. They are in the flesh. You are a slave to righteousness. They are a slave to sin. You are led by the spirit. They are led by the god of this world.
Wow.
You are alive in Christ. They are dead in sin.
Dang.
Here's the thing. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. But what you're saying is facts. We are our spiritual self is absolutely
just spiritually
important.
It's different.
It's very different. It's very different. And here's what I wanted to say. The thing is, we need to understand that this is a marathon.
Okay.
You're dating to choose your life partner. This is somebody that you're gonna spend 95, I would say higher, 99% of your time with for the next 50 years, maybe. You're spending more time with them than you're spending alone. You're spending more time with them than you're spending with your mother. This is your life partner. They're going to see
important decision.
The beauty in you, the ugliness in you. They're going to see you with bad breath, smelling bad. They're going to see the worst of you. They're going to see the best of you. They're going to see every little aspect of you, every bit. They're going to get to know you more than anybody else knows you. So this is why it's so important. I would argue this is one of the biggest decisions in your entire life. This is the biggest decision in your entire life.
I agree with that.
And to choose somebody that is so different than you, it is very risky. Not just it's incredibly foolish, I would say.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's like, again, if you're a Christian, like it's not like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like you just love Jesus. Like you're living for the one that died for you. Right? Like Jesus is the most important thing in your life. So how can you just not care that the person that you just said 50 years is going to see you more than your mother doesn't have the same mindset, doesn't have the same view? And especially like when, you know, if a person comes up to you and they're an attractive person, right? And they go up to you like, oh, are you a Christian? I heard you were a Christian. And you're just like, I mean, I'm not Christian. I don't take it seriously. Like, that's a problem. Because if you really are a Christian and you love Jesus, you should not be ashamed of the gospel. You shouldn't be ashamed of your faith. You're living for him. You're obeying him. You love Jesus. You love him. Jesus said, if you love me, obey me. I'm obeying God out here. I love God. I'm living for him. I'm living for the one that died for me. So I can't settle for less. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be ashamed of that.
And with that, it's like, I was just going to say, like, we're not saying that the person that you're partnering yourself with is bad. We're not saying they're a terrible person or this. Nothing like that. But here's the thing. This, like I said, this is for the long run. You need somebody that's equipped and ready for battle. Because here's the thing. The Bible says it in Genesis. I'll read the verse right now.
Genesis.
Yes. This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. If you truly love Jesus and you want to give him your 100%, that is not possible because if you're partnered with an unbeliever, because they are your 50%. You are now one, and if 50% of you is not giving you to God, you can't give God your all because you are now one with that person. And if talking about biblical marriage and stuff, if you want a man to lead you correctly and that man is not under God and doesn't know God and doesn't believe in God, he can't lead you correctly. And here's another thing that I want to say. If somebody hasn't understood and experienced the love of God, they will not be able to love you correctly.
Preach that, bro. Preach that.
And that is something that hit me hard. Because when I was talking to somebody and I was like, I really like this person, but they're not a believer, they said they won't be able to love you the way God intended you to be loved.
Wow.
If they haven't experienced the love of God.
Wow. Why settle? How could you settle for less? That's wow. That's so good. And also, like what you're saying, if you're trying to flee sexual desire, so if you're trying to flee sexual immorality out here, right? And the person comes up to you and they're not a Christian and they don't care about fleeing sexual immorality, it's like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, I can't compromise my commitment just because you're cute. You feel me? Like, I'm actually on a mission. Like, I'm chasing purity. I'm chasing Jesus, and you don't care about that? Like, I'm not about to compromise my commitment just because you're cute, bro. Like, it's simple. As simple as that. And I get it because, like, these feelings come up, and a lot of times when we have these emotions, we look past everything. Oh, they have this problem, but I love them though.
Wow.
Like we look past so much things because, you know, the way I view it is like love hopes, right? Like the love you have for them, it's like you hope for the best, like, but they can change. They can change. But it's like, no, you're in chains.
Oh, wait. Well, nah. Hold on. Nah.
I'm sorry. That came out of nowhere, yo.
Nah. You meant that?
I said
if you meant to say it again.
It's like, bro, like you're hoping, because I get it. Love hopes. You're hoping they can change. You're hoping they can change their ways and you can bring them to God and they can change. No, you're in chains. You're in chains. Nah. You're chained. You're chained.
Chained to what, bro?
The relationship. You're chained to somebody holding you back. You're chained to somebody lessening your commitment, right? Like you have to be on the same page. You can't be lacking unity in the most important thing of a relationship, and that is obedience and commitment to God.
Wow.
You cannot lack unity in the greatest thing, in the most important thing. You can't lack unity in there.
And something that changed my mindset when it came to dating and marriage was, can you look at this person and say, us together are stronger in pushing the kingdom of God together than we are separate. That's something that
push ourselves.
Yes, that's always stuck with me so much. Together, will we push the kingdom further than us separate? That's insane, because it's like, okay, here's the thing, and you brought it up. A lot of us might be saying, okay, but our situation is unique. Our situation's a little different, you know. They believe in God. I'm jumping all over the place, but I just have to say this.
Yeah. There's
a difference between saying I believe in God and I'm seeking a relationship with God. Because some people might say, okay, I don't worry, I know Jesus, I know God.
Yeah.
I pray once in a while. No.
Yeah.
There's a difference between somebody that is seeking to be more like Jesus every day.
Yeah.
Somebody that is seeking a relationship with him. Somebody that is, their whole life goal is to be like Jesus, and they're running that race. That is someone you partner with. Because somebody that is not even running the race, they're not going to let you run. They're going to hold you. As much as you think, I'm strong in my faith, I can do this, you can't. You need, because being surrounded by somebody that unfortunately doesn't believe in the same thing won't push you forward.
And we always talk about how, you know, hang around with fools become foolish, right? Like we always talk about the importance of who your friends are, right? Your friends, show me your friends, show your future, right?
Yeah.
And if we're talking about a person who's going to be way closer than a friend, a person that you're going to live with, and you're going to tell me that they're not going to affect you, oh, my faith is fine. My faith's strong enough.
Check out this. No, it's not. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 5:11. I meant that you are not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer, yet indulges in sexual sin, or is greedy, or worships idols, or is abusive, or is a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't even eat with such people. And some of y'all are marrying them.
Sheesh, dude.
My bad. I didn't mean to go there.
No, but we get you. Yeah, it's you're saying real stuff. That's a verse.
That's a verse.
Y'all heard that?
I heard it.
I heard it.
I read it.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It's
and that like I said, if you're a Christian and if you're allowing yourself to be in a relationship with someone who isn't, right? The thing is, it's gonna weaken your Christian commitment, your Christian standards, and your Christian integrity. It's just gonna weaken it. Like I said, foolish friends become foolish. The person that you're gonna do your entire life with, they're gonna affect you.
And just talking about more of like the light side of being with somebody that's a believer. I've gotten to taste a little bit of both, bro. It is being with somebody that you can pray with, that you can worship with, that you can share the love of your life with. Like, yo, Jesus, I love him. To be able to conversate about God, and God told me this, God spoke to me in this, you know, God's calling me into this ministry, and to share your passion with them, and to just battle together. There is something so special about that. Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm going to say something, and I'm not saying this is the case for everybody.
Okay.
But if you're asking this question and you're thinking about getting with somebody that's an unbeliever, I would bet you 9 out of 10 times you haven't experienced a partner that loves God. Because if you've experienced a partner that loves God, I don't think you would backtrack into somebody that doesn't. Because having a partner that loves God is something incredibly special and something that is blessed by God.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
That's so good. That's so good. And so we get it. Bad.
Yeah.
Right. We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't be like trying to, and we get it. You want to hope for the best, but you have to understand, right? You have to understand. So the next thing I want to talk about, right? First thing we spoke about, having a unbelieving partner, right, will weaken your Christian commitment, your standards, and your integrity, right? The next thing I want to talk about is like, you can have a standard. You should have a standard, right? Like, and I'm not talking about, oh, he has to make $1 million, or she has to be like extremely pretty or whatever. Like, I'm talking about like, if you're a girl, right? Like, your standards should be, I want a man who is truly after God's own heart. Wow. I want a man who is seeking the Lord. Seeking the Lord every day, like learning more about him, becoming more like, you can see Jesus in him, right? Like, and not just a man who's like just saying that they're a Christian. No, you see the fruit of his life. You see how he's living, right? Because anybody can say I'm a Christian, right? So a person who you can see is truly living, going after God's own heart. Like, you can see the fruit of his life. You see his like praying for you. I don't know, whatever it is, like, have a standard. Wow. And same thing goes for guys. You know, you can't have that girl until you are that guy. Right, the guy I just talked about, who's seeking after God's own heart, who's praying. That's true. You don't deserve that girl if you're not that guy. Ouch, right, like, you have to, like, you better be seeking God. You better be learning more. You better be seeking and just going crazy in your faith.
I've got a verse for the guys. Watch this. Proverbs 31:30.
I want to hear this.
Charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Just remember that. Just throwing it out there. Beauty does not last. So for you that like, shorty's cute.
Yeah.
That's important. It's important to feel attracted to your partner, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised, because this is for the long run. And having a woman, for you guys listening, having a girl that loves God by your side, bro, you guys are going places. Because
that's awesome.
Both of you together loving the Lord. Oh my gosh, bro. What a power couple. That's a real power couple.
That's a real power couple. Yeah. Like, don't have the bar set so low. If you have the bar low, guess what they're going to do? They're going to hop over it. Oh. Yeah.
Yo, what's good with you today?
So I don't know.
Nah, you're spitting too many.
Like, I'm just saying, like, you can't have the bar so low where it's like, I mean, I want a guy who's like, you know, his morals are good. Like, his morals, the way he talks, you know, it kind of matches what the Bible says.
I want a guy that treats me like a queen.
It's like
all that,
or it's like, oh, like, he doesn't have to be a Christian, but like, if his heart is like, he's a good guy, he helps people out. That's not the same. It's not the same. Like, a man who loves Jesus and a man who just is kind. Yeah. Two different things. Like, you need, like, don't have the bar so low. Set the bar high so they can't reach it. Right? Like, have this, like, you need to have a standard.
Right. And you know how I said that it's a marathon?
Yeah.
Obviously, the first couple miles are easier, because once you get towards the end, your body's, you know, aching. It's harder. So for a lot of you that are in early relationships, be careful not to be blinded. A lot of you get treated very well, and that's awesome. And a lot of you feel loved, and you're happy in the relationship. But they're
saying all the right things.
They're saying all the right things. Be careful. Be careful with yourself. I'm not saying, oh, they might be lying to you or they're putting on a show. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, you need to think about that there's a long race ahead of you, and will this person be the one that's going to push you forward in this race? Because all things are butterfly and love right now, and it looks and sounds great. Yeah. But will this person be the rock to your relationship with God?
And you know what? That's the hard thing. Because it's like we want that connection, right? We want those, like, they're amazing. He's awesome. She's awesome. Whatever it is. But like, you have to remember, it's for the long run. It's not just for a few months. Like, it doesn't last a few months. Yeah. Like I said, you're dating for marriage. So you can have standards. You can choose. It's your choice, right? So it's very important. Yeah. And something else I wanted to say, because again, like, have standards. That next thing I wanted to say is, like, you know, we can make connections anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you're at work and like, there's this girl there and you're just talking to her because it's work. You're talking about work stuff, right? You see her every day. You're talking to her about work stuff. days pass by, you start like enjoying the conversation. You start like, cracking little jokes here and there. Time passes, you start finding her a little attractive. As time passes, you start talking to her more. You want to talk to her more. You want to, wherever she's going, you want to walk over there. Hey, how you doing? What's up? How you doing? It's like for that can happen anywhere. I feel like connections happen anywhere, right? You go to Starbucks and this guy's like, oh, he has like the same vibe as me. I don't know. There's something about him, right? Or like a girl. There's something about that girl. I don't know. Connections can happen like at any time. Right. But I feel like as a Christian, you have to be very careful and be aware of your heart. Right. You can't allow yourself to get emotionally invested with somebody who doesn't know God. Wow. Because it can happen. It right. Can, just randomly, like you're hanging out with this girl at work, and all of a sudden you're like, she's cool. It's like, oh, just even know Jesus. Oh. Why are you allowing yourself to start feeling those emotions? And sometimes you can't really control your emotions. They're just going to come. But it's like, you start like you like the way they look, and you find them attractive, and you low-key start flirting with them, but like you don't have a goal in mind, right? You're not like, I'm not gonna like date them. I'm just like having fun, just having a good time with them. You don't know where you're gonna birth there, right? You might just be like you're just playing around with them, you're making jokes, whatever. You feel something, but like you're not taking it seriously. You don't have any goals. You don't know what you're cultivating there, and it can be very tricky. Right. But as a Christian, that's what we have to be very aware that you're not allowing yourself to become emotionally invested into somebody who does not know Jesus, because it can happen, like I said, anywhere. Yeah. And that's why you have to be careful. Like watch your heart, like protect your heart, like be careful with that.
Because I would say what you're talking about too, there's spiritual, emotional, and physical connections that happen. There's that kind of unity in marriage. Yeah. And the thing is, if you get invested too early or with the wrong person, you're giving emotional connection, physical. Let's say you're getting sexually involved before marriage. That is the danger of it. Yeah. No, because definitely. Now you're defrauding them of what God intended them to have in marriage, and that's crazy and that's dangerous. And that's hard to grasp, but the purity is something that we need to keep. Yes. And we need to work towards. Yeah. And the thing is, with an unbeliever, they're not working or focusing on the same thing.
We can compromise our purity by allowing ourselves to become emotionally invested with somebody who doesn't know Jesus. Right. That's why it's important, like, who is the one that you're going to choose to like allow yourself to be emotionally invested with, because that's like the most important decision, right?
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you. Okay. What about people that may be introducing somebody to God?
Introducing somebody to God?
Yeah, like they're in the relationship and, they start inviting them to church, and they're saying, you know what, like, I wouldn't call them unbelievers. They come to church once in a while, and they're getting into the faith. Yeah,
and that's the thing. I feel like if you're already in a relationship, because it's happened before, you're in a relationship and both of you don't really know God that much, but then one of you guys start like, actually, whoa, God is real, Jesus is real, and you start coming to church more, you start following Jesus more, like you can bring your partner too, right? Like, you can bring the faith, like you can pray for your partner, pray that God will, because you're already in the relationship, it's like, and again, it's not like you're listening to this like, and we're saying you have to break up with them right now, right? You know what I mean? It's like if you found God during the relationship and you're like, wow, this is real, like I want this, like now you have the ability to lead your partner into it, and pray for your partner.
I would just be careful, because there could be an ulterior intention there, kind of like, okay, like, all right, this person's a believer and that's kind of a requirement for them, and so like, I'll give this God thing a chance. And I would just be careful with that. I would also, here's the thing, and this is something I've learned, is especially when somebody's new to the faith, they need to have their time and they need to have that journey that you also had to get to where you are. They need to go through the same trials. They need to go through the same obstacles. They need to go through the same of like feelings of numbness, feelings of, oh, why is God not answering me? Or going through having Christian friends and filtering out those friends that don't belong in their life. There's a lot of things in this journey that they need to go through.
You can't just expect them just to have the same level of faith you have in just like a short amount of time.
So I would encourage you guys, like, okay, like maybe you really like this person. But you're like, maybe God's calling me to wait to give them time to grow spiritually. That is something that could be the case.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't rush into it because that's what you said. We're still, although they're getting into the faith, there's a different level of spirituality here.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect your relationship.
Most definitely.
And so I think it's always important to have that wisdom and that discernment to be like, okay, I think we're both ready to get into this relationship, and I think we can both approach this and do this correctly and have God in the center of this. Because that's another thing. Have God in the center of your relationship. That is crucial. And to have God in the center, God has to be the center of one, and God has to be the center of the other for God to be the center of both of you.
Like you said before, it's like, in reality, what you should be really focusing on is how to love God with all of your heart, how to love God with all of you, so that you can love somebody else with all of you. Yeah. Right? That's like the main thing. It's like, how are you going to love somebody with all of your being if you can't love God with all your being? You know? But that's for a different episode, though.
That is for another episode. I have another hard question for you.
All right.
Do you think a marriage with an unbeliever can be successful?
A marriage with an unbeliever? Dang, man.
I hate to put you on the spot.
A marriage with an unbeliever can be unsuccessful. I mean, because the thing is, Paul talks about that, right? Paul talks about like people who are in marriages. Like, I think Paul says don't divorce them, right? But then Paul also says, but if they leave you, then I think he said like, thank God because now you have peace.
Ouch.
So I'll just say that.
He said, I'll just say that.
I'll just say that. I mean, like, like we've been talking about, if you're really like after God's heart, I mean, and you got to try all your best to, show God to your, spouse,
right?
And show them God is real and everything. Because if it's not, and it's gonna be difficult.
It will be very difficult.
But yeah, I'll just say that verse. I'll just say what Paul said. I'm just say what the Bible said. I don't know too much about marriage. So yeah, I'll say that.
And here's the thing: we're not God.
Yeah. And
God works in very mysterious ways.
God does what he thinks is right, what he knows is right.
And so we're not here to tell you like, if you're dating an unbeliever, that is not for you. Get out. But these are precautions that God sets in place in his word, and he warns us because he sees the long run, and he warns us what's coming. And a marriage where you guys are not chasing the same thing, where you guys are so different in that aspect, will harm you, will cause a lot of roadblocks, a lot of collisions.
That wouldn't happen if you were both on the same page.
Right, and that's not even thinking of like the technicalities of like, okay, like what about your kids? Are they going to be believers also? Are you going to be able...
all those arguments?
Yeah, all the arguments. Like, there's a lot of things that you need to consider when somebody is not of the faith. They're very different.
And I'm trying to find this one thing, because it's funny, because I remember when I was preparing for the episode, I had a discussion with one of my friends. Yeah. And we had like a pretty good argument, because we were talking about like, hey, is it literally this topic? Can you date an unbeliever? And so I was like, no, you can't. You shouldn't, right? Like saying all these points. And they were giving me points too. They were saying things like, yeah, but if they have the same morals, and they respect my faith, I can still chase God. And they have some good points. And so I came up with this conclusion, right? Because the thing is, we could argue so many different scenarios. Or like, oh, but what if the girl is like, she loves, like, she believes, but she's not really putting all her faith like in it. Like, she believes God, she believes in God, but she's not like going crazy. She's not chasing God like crazy. I mean, but I think that's fine because she has the same morals. She's, all that stuff.
Right.
We were basically arguing a bunch of scenarios, and so this is what I sent him a while ago, just to like end it off. So, getting with a girl that doesn't love and follow Jesus will mean that you will experience one of the what-if scenarios that have an overarching theme of negative impact towards your faith. So, regardless of what the scenario is, what the situation is with the relationship, the overarching theme is like, it's going to have a negative impact on your faith.
Right, of course.
Right? But getting with a girl that does love and follow Jesus will mean that there won't be any what if scenarios because you're both on the same page. Right? And also, something I want to add too, I know that people can be like smart and be like, okay, so you're saying that if you're already in one and one of you guys find God, it's okay if I get into one because like later we'll find God and stuff. If you know this now, sorry, you know this now. You know what I mean? Like, people can use that, like what we said, like sometimes people that don't know God, they get into a relationship, but after a while they both find God. So I was like, what if what if we both find God later and I can just date this guy or date this girl right now? No, dude, you know now. Can't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
Now you know that you shouldn't. You should be wise.
Wow.
And so.
Yeah.
But that's
dating an
so let's overlook. So first thing is dating an unbeliever will have will weaken your Christian commitment, standards, and integrity. The second one was third one was have a standard.
Yes, have a standard.
And the other one was that don't be careful to not allow yourself to become emotionally invested with somebody who doesn't know Jesus.
Well,
so
that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So if you had to leave the people with one thing, what are you going to tell them?
Love God first. Love God first. If there is any opportunity for you or anything with anybody, pray about it. They need to know Jesus, but love God first. Seek God first.
Yep. Amen. Let's
that's
do this. Yep.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching this episode.
Yes.
We hope you guys got something out of it. If you guys have any questions, maybe you guys have some concerns, maybe you guys want our advice on something, DM us, leave us a comment, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We love you, and we'll see you guys for the next episode. Peace out.